Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Justified Gaming. Today I'm going to be giving you my top 15 games of all time. This is not what I think is the best 15 games ever made, but in my opinion, these are my top 15 favorite. A lot of these games I still play to this day. I started gaming when I was probably, 3 or 4 years old. As soon as I could pick up a controller, I used to play with my dad and everything. So started with a PS1 and it evolved over time. And a lot of these games I still play to this day. So let's go ahead and jump right into it with number 15. So at number 15, we have Legend of Legaia. Now, a lot of you may have never even heard of this game before. I got it on a demo disc back in probably 99 or 2000, and I wanted to search for the full game. But this game is super unique, especially for a JRPG. Kind of reminds you of the Final Fantasy-esque games, but this did a whole different formula. They had this little combo thing where you click left, right, up, down, and if you make a combo, you do this super crazy art attack, and the actual voice acting in this game was top tier. Storytelling was great. This is number 15 for me. If you've never played this, I would highly recommend giving it a try. All right, guys, at number 14, we have the original Tony Hawk Underground, or more referred to as Thug. This game, with some friends on a Saturday night, Doritos, some whatever the new flavor of Mountain Dew was, this was that game. This just took skating to a whole new level for me. Yeah, you had the original Tony Hawk Pro Skaters on the PS1 back in the day, but this one right here was what really got me into skating and stuff. Now, I haven't skated in probably 17 years, but this game made me want to be a pro skater, even though I knew I had zero chance. But this game was groundbreaking. All right, everybody, and at number 13, we have Fable 2. Now, I love Fable 1, don't get me wrong, but Fable 2 just did everything much better in my opinion. The spells that you can use, the different types of weapons. You got a dog that followed you around, helped you find hidden treasure. This game, I spent so much time playing couch co-op with my friends. This was probably when I was in 5th or 6th grade, but this game is top tier. If you've never played Fable 1 or 2, highly recommend them. Coming in at number 12, we have Dead Island. This game changed zombie games for me. Now, we got some other zombie games on this list. I'm very biased when it comes to them, but this was one of the better ones that I played until I get to some of these next ones. But this game with a couple friends, this is probably when I started playing online a good bit, but I had so much fun playing this game. Just the hack and slash. I love these types of games. If you've never tried Dead Island or the second one, which the second one's really good, but this one just hit every note that I love about this genre of game. So, never played it, try it out. All right, so at number 11, we have Left 4 Dead. This game immediately makes me think of Saturday nights with my best friends, Doritos, Game Fuel. I know y'all remember Game Fuel, the Mountain Dew flavor. This was played so much. I wouldn't doubt if this game has my third most hours out of any game I've ever played. I love this game. Just the simplicity of it. There's only 4 weapons, and then there's a little upgraded versions of those weapons later on. But this game is my teenage years wrapped up in one. I love this game, and I bet you can guess what number 10 is going to be. If Left 4 Dead was number 11, then Left 4 Dead 2 is at number 10. This took everything from Left 4 Dead and made it even better. You got different special infected, like the spitters and the chargers. This game just hit every single note that I loved about this specific genre. We've had some copycats try to come out. I really like the game Back 4 Blood, but nothing is ever going to come out that gets anywhere close to this. unless somehow in the next 10 years we get Left 4 Dead 3 out of nowhere. But this is like teenage years wrapped up in one. I remember the day I got this game, I helped my grandma put down like a brick sidewalk and like, layered it all out for her and like did it. And she gave me the money to go buy this game. So there's like an extra little memory attached to this game as well. Coming in at number 9, we have Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. This made me fall back in love with the Resident Evil series. I think Resident Evil 2 or 4 is arguably the best Resident Evil game, but this game changed it all for me. The horror aspect was like ramped up. It just felt like you were like hopeless, especially on your first playthrough. And if you played this on VR for your first playthrough, I don't even want to know what you went through, but this game was amazing. The Baker family was like some of the best written in the whole series, in my opinion. And not to mention like the actual lore and stuff that it leads into going into Resident Evil 8 is top tier. This game is so amazing. So coming in at number 8, I don't have a physical copy of this game, but we have Crash Team Racing. If anybody remembers this game from the PlayStation 1, this is my favorite racer of all time. Mario Kart, everything, Need for Speed does not come close to this game for me. So as you can imagine, when they announced that they were remaking that game, I lost it because I think I have put, not even counting what I have on the remaster version, but I think that's probably top 3 game for me on the PlayStation 1. There is probably no racing game that comes close to the amount of hours I've put in on that. And I will beat any of you in a race of it too. Coming in at number 7, we have Dark Souls 3. Now, I'm going to get into a little something with this whole series. Like, you're going to see a pattern when it comes to From Software in my rankings, but Dark Souls 3 is the second Souls game I ever played, and this game is phenomenal. Everything about it, the story, the lore, the characters, the voice acting, the actual ambiance of the game, the level design, it's all so good. And everything ties back to the first game, even some of the second game, especially in the DLC. This game is so good. The bosses are great. The music is amazing. And I literally fell in love with this game the moment I booted it up. This is number 7 for me. All right, coming in at number 6, this is going to be a hot take, probably the only one on this list maybe, but that's for y'all to decide. Number 6, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. I don't care what anybody says about this game. This is probably my favorite. My personal favorite. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's my favorite. Reason being, this is my first introduction to any Souls-like game. This game changed my whole perspective on what gaming is. This is probably one of the only games I've ever played that actually started to challenge me because I knew nothing about this type of game. All I knew was that I started out, I had some broken sword, running around in this super dark and depressing area, progress through a little bit, and then I get to this magical place called Majula. When that theme started playing, the backdrop, just the whole ambiance of this place that I was in changed my whole perspective on what gaming is. And I really am so glad that I picked this game up at GameStop one day. I mean, it's still got the tag on it. I mean, I paid $25 for this game. Actually, I might have paid 22 because I'm pretty sure I was a pro member, but everything about this game is so great to me. Yeah, of course, I've played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and the rest of them, and like, everybody's always like, oh, you gotta put levels and ADP just to like be able to dodge and stuff. Like, okay, that's not really a excuse to not want to play the game. Like, so what? You have to grind out a little bit and bump up your levels to get to a point where, you can start to dodge some things. That's not a reason to not play the game. I think this game is probably one of my top 3 favorite games of all time. Even though I'm ranking it as 6, I'm just looking at this table and there's no way I can put it above some of these, but this changed my life when it came to gaming because now I seem to like not be able to play games anymore unless it's FromSoft or like a zombie game. And I'm not mad at that because these games are awesome. But Dark Souls 2 at number 6. All right, everybody, coming in at number 5. We're at the top 5 now. Number 5, my favorite zombie game of all time, Dying Light. Dying Light is the best zombie game that has ever been made. I did not like Dying Light 2. I have yet to try Dying Light the Beast. Everybody says Dying Light the Beast is a little better. But this game, I put in probably 1,000 hours on this game, especially playing it with a couple of my friends online. We put in so much time in this game. And then they came out with the DLC part, the following. And I was like, there's no way it's going to be as good. It was better. It was even better. You get to drive around this dune buggy. You can run over zombies, just hit NOS on the thing, and you're just flying across some random field. They had a trophy where you got to like run over scarecrows. Like, who comes up with this kind of stuff? And the Easter eggs in this game are some of the best ones I've ever played in a game. I love this game. Like, playing it at night, like, not like night as in like day and night in our world, but I mean at nighttime, you walk outside, this game is nightmare fuel. Like, there was a while I couldn't even wear headphones and play this game at night because it was terrifying. You would just get jumped out of nowhere. The volatiles are like so aggressive, and like, unless you got like some of the best guns, you're not killing those things. Like, you're just gonna get got on, you know what I mean? But best zombie game that I have ever played. Like, Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 is like right there, but it's like they're totally different in like that kind of sense. But Dying Light and Dying Light the following, top tier games. This is number 5 for me. All right, everybody, and coming in at number 4, we have my second favorite FromSoft game, and that's going to be Bloodborne. Bloodborne is just one of those games that sticks with you. The story, the lore, the atmosphere of this game is something incredible. I have not experienced a playthrough like this probably since I got to like my number 1 game, but the number 1 game's coming, and I'm pretty sure y'all know what it is based off some of my picks. But, you know, Yarnum, that whole world design is so incredible. Then they came out with the DLC that I didn't think could make this game even any better, but it did. Like, the bosses in that DLC are some of the hardest bosses I've ever played in any video game of all time. I love this. I love the parry system in this. Like, you get a gun and you shoot a gun when someone's attacking and it parries them. This game is just top tier. I will always love this game. I play this game still to this day. You know, it's not as active as it used to be, but it definitely has its cult following. And this is just such an amazing game. The storytelling, the level design, the music is incredible. Everything about this game hits every note that I love. And I honestly would have never have played this game if it wasn't for me picking up Dark Souls 2. So thank you, Dark Souls 2, for leading me to this masterpiece. All right, guys, coming in at number 3, we have my favorite Xbox game of all time. And a lot of you may not even know what this game is, but the ones of you that do, you know exactly where I'm about to come from. Jet Set Radio Future. This game changed my life when I was 5 years old. I got an Xbox for Christmas, and this game came with it. It was this and the Sega GT game. It was a racing game, but this game right here had me hooked. It was so good. Everything about it was so different from any game I've ever played. This has hands down the best soundtrack of any video game of all time. Fight me over it. You cannot debate it. Listen to it and tell me I'm wrong. This game is so amazing. The characters are great. You got a wacky, super wacky villain in this game. And not to mention, DJ Professor K is that dude. This man had us grooving and moving, skating, grinding, doing all these crazy tricks and stuff. And like the characters you could unlock in this game, I love like the outfits in this game. Like the character design is so great. Not only that, but like, did I mention the music? Because I'm going to keep saying that. This has the best soundtrack of any game in existence. Any of them. I don't care what anybody says. If you've never played this game, find you an Xbox or whatever other system this thing is on. Find you one and please play this game. You will not regret it. So coming in at number 2, this was probably the hardest decision for me because both of these games have the most time I've put in any game, period. I don't know which one has the higher one, but they're both probably into thousands of hours. This game is my favorite game on PlayStation 1, and this is honestly my favorite game of all time. So yes, I should put it at 1, but I'm putting it at 2 just because number 1, I still play it. I still play this as well, but coming in at number 2, Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 1. I'm not talking about the remake. I'm not talking about Rebirth, which are both fantastic games. This game molded me as a child. I watched my dad play this when I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and then he gave me the PlayStation 1 because he got a PlayStation 2. This game, I adore it more than any game. The story, the characters, the atmosphere, the villains in this game, the corruptness of like the government doing like crazy stuff to the planet, and they're draining the planet of its life energy, and you're like playing as a mercenary that's like all screwed up in the head, and you just don't know this yet. But like as this story unfolds and like you get deeper and deeper into these characters, nothing comes close to this game. Like nothing does. Like, yeah, you got like games like Final Fantasy 6, 8, 9, 10. They're all really good and they're really deep, but this is the one for me. I could play this game right now and I would not stop until I got to disc 3 and I beat it. I love this game, and again, this is one, if you've never played it, it's on PS5 now. They've done the remake and Rebirth, and part 3 should come out in the next year or 2, but this is the one right here. If you have an original PlayStation 1 and you've never played this game, do yourself a favor and dive into this world, because you will not find a better game with character progression, and I mean, it's just top tier. Go play it today. All right, guys, and coming in at number 1, I don't think there's any debate about it. When I show you how many hours I have in this game, I unfortunately don't have a physical copy, but this is my number 1 game of all time. Elden Ring. Over 2,000 hours put in this game. So Elden Ring took everything from Dark Souls, from Bloodborne, to Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and it just ramped everything up and dumped it in this open world. And when I tell you, the first time I booted this game up, my mind couldn't comprehend just how big it was. But not only that, when you find like your first map fragment or your second map fragment, and then the world just keeps expanding and expanding, it just literally blew my mind, and I could not comprehend the size of a game like this. I think my first playthrough, I had to have put, it was probably 150 hours into this game. And I'm not joking. Like, I've played through this game probably 10, 15, maybe even more times. And there's times where on my main character, I still find new stuff. Like, I mean, I found all the main areas and like all the caves and all that good stuff. But like, I mean, like armor pieces, weapons, like a ring or a charm that I didn't find. I was just mind boggled because like, even the other day, it was like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I was playing and I found a sword that I didn't even know was in the game. Because I'm one of those guys, I don't really like to look up guides and like how many weapons, how many armor pieces. I just like to play the game, and if I get them, I get them. But besides that, like, you know, the bosses are so good. The art direction is phenomenal. You have one of the best authors of all time helped write this masterpiece, and the DLC comes out. And I'm just like, oh, dude, like the DLC is $30. Like, that's pretty expensive for a DLC, you know? You know, most DLCs are like 15, $20. So I was like, how big and how good could this DLC be? Well, I end up getting it the day it drops. And when I tell you my mouth fell to the floor, it was legit like the same size as like the regular map, minus like maybe a couple little areas. Not to mention, you had even better boss fights. You had so many more weapons, armor, you know, all kinds of like talismans and stuff that you couldn't find. I just could not believe that they put out such a banger game that was so massive and like just immense and drew you in. And they made it even better with the DLC. Not only that, you expanded on the lore even more. You understood a lot more about what happened. I can't tell you how much I loved Elden Ring because, I mean, you saw how many hours I had in it. Over 2,000 hours. And it could be more than that, you know. That game, I don't think FromSoft understands what they put out with this game, because I just find it hard to believe that they could put out something that's better than this game. Like, if they put out something better than Elden Ring, I don't know who they're hiring or who's working on these games, but they need raises, they need like promotions, they need to be moved up in the company, because the overall picture of this game is much more than gaming. Like, it literally felt like you were reading like a book, but you're playing that book. And it's just so incredible to me that like they could actually accomplish this, because I had, you know, again, I love Dark Souls 2, 3, Bloodborne, all those games, and like they're arguably 9, 10 out of 10 games itself. Elden Ring's like a 20 out of 10. If they ever come out with an Elden Ring 2, I think it's going to break the gaming industry, because nobody's doing stuff like Elden Ring is. Like, I love that game, and, you know, again, if you haven't played Elden Ring, what are you doing? Like, go buy that crap today and play it. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And what I want you to do in the comment section is, what is your favorite game of all time? Give me your favorite, and then give me like your top 10 or top 15. Give me a top 20 if you can't like cut some out. But I want to know what your favorite games are of all time, and if any of the games that are my favorites are some of your favorites as well. I'll see y'all next time for the next video.